creative friends. So this is part two of me creating a journal out of a little golden book for Frida Kahlo. You can go back and watch part one where I show you how I create the cover. And so here I'm going through creating the signatures. So I'm measuring out how big these pages are so I know how big the pages I need to have for this journal. I was thinking about, like, with this, taping or gluing two of them together, but then I'm like, well, I think it'll work just folding them in half. I mean, it's, you know, not going to be the same size, but they don't have to be, you know. And you'll see in a later video, because I'm not even done with this journal, I'm still working on it, but I wanted to go ahead and at least get some of the, some of these videos out to show you the process of me creating this journal. So I'm still working on it. Anyway, and you'll see where on some of the shorter pages I actually add some edge trims and stuff like that. And so here I've got the scrapbook paper that's in this kit that I bought. It was a Frida Kahlo kit, and I'm determining like how I'm going to use these papers in this journal. And I do realize that with these I'm going to have to glue two papers together. And so I'm trying to figure that all out, like how much of the, how wide do I need these papers to be. And so anyway, I go through and figure out how wide they need to be, how much of the paper that I can crease and that can overlap and then be the same size as the pages. And so yeah, I'm just trying to get that all figured out. So once I determine how wide the pages need to be and then how much I need to score and glue together in order to get these pages glued together, I go through, and it just so happens this kit actually has I think it's four copies of the same thing. So I was able to take two of the same patterns and then glue them together, and I believe it's four different patterns. And so that was perfect because then I could put one in each of the signatures. I decided that I'm going to do four signatures. And when I took the golden book apart, it actually was two signatures. So I'm going to disperse some papers between the pages of the first signature from the book, and then the next signature will just be different papers that I'm using from my stash here, and then the third signature will be the second signature from the book dispersed with some papers, and then the last one will just be different papers that I have from my stash, if that makes sense. So I'm going to do four signatures, and then part of the book will be in the first signature and the other part will be in the third signature. So I'm cutting down some of the scrapbook paper that I wanted to use in this journal to the right height, and I have like scrapbook paper I'm using. I've got papers from my stash that I'm using. I've got some free printables that I'm going to use, and so yeah, I'm trying. And then of course the pattern paper that came in the kit that I have. So I'm figuring that all out, and the sizes I need, and then how many I'm going to need for each signature, how many pages I want to put in each signature. I started out, I think I was going to do 6 in each signature, but then after I got the signatures together and started looking at my papers that I have in each signature, it seemed like it was a lot of scrapbook paper and pattern paper, and not a lot of like writing areas. So then I do go back and add some other papers from my stash to the signatures. I added two more pages per signature. So I actually ended up doing four signatures of 8 pages, if that makes any sense. So, like I said, I'm going through and cutting any, the 12 by 12 scrapbook paper down to size and folding that in half. So this is scrapbook paper that I cut down to size, and I'm folding it in half. And I saved the offcuts because I ended up using that in the journal as well. So here's all the scrapbook paper I have ready to go. And then these papers, again, I'm trying to figure out, like, you know, how much do I need to keep to fold and glue, and how much do I need to cut off. So I cut off, I believe it was 3/4 of an inch, or an inch, it might have been an inch. And then I planned on folding the paper at a half inch. I thought a half inch would probably be good, so I'm using my scoreboard here. I'm just using a bone folder, as you see here, to score those a half inch. And then I fold those, and the first first two I did, well, the first one I did, this paper is actually quite thick. They came in this kit, which is nice, but I kind of pressed a little harder than I should have, and I just about tore through the paper. Even though it's thick paper, I was really surprised, and so I actually um, ended up putting some washi tape on that one, which you'll see, because it did I did press too hard and about ripped right through the paper. So yeah, I don't know if you can tell here, but I have a fold on each side, and then I'm going to glue them together. So I got a fold on one side, a fold on the other, and I'm sliding those together. Now actually I wished I'd have done it the other opposite way instead of this way, because I was like, oh, I will glue these down like this and then fold them the other way once I get them glued together. So yeah, when I tried to fold them the other way, the paper wanted to crack, and I was like, that is not good. So I actually should have folded them after I got the glue on there, with the printed part out instead of in, so that the printed part would be out. But unfortunately, I just did it like this, and here I had some extra glue on there, so I just used an eraser to remove it. Sometimes you can remove it with your finger, but when your fingers are all, like messy and stuff from paint and whatnot, it's, not such a good idea. So an eraser, it was smudging when I was trying to use my finger, so I was able to use an eraser to get rid of it. So here I'm like gluing these together. And again, like I said, there was 4 different designs, and luckily there was, 4 copies, 4 prints of the same thing, so I was able to glue 2 together of each print. And again, I, used kept the offcuts from the 12 by 12 paper I'm going to use as, tucks and pockets and stuff in the journal. So I've got those. I've got my papers that I'm going to use. And now I'm laying out my 4 signatures, trying to determine what papers are going to go on the 4 different signatures. I believe the book, if I remember right, like I said, had 2 signatures, and each one had 3 pages each. And so I was going to go with 6 per signature, so I needed to add 3 pages to each of those, and then 6 of random papers to the other 2. But like I said, after I got my signatures together, I realized, wow, there's a lot of pattern paper in these, and so I really don't have a lot of writing spots and stuff. And so I did go through my stash, found a couple of more muted papers that I was able to add two more to each signature. So I ended up with 8 pages per signature. So here I realized I needed one more, and so I, was going to put one in each signature. And then I lay out randomly what papers I'm going to use in what signatures. And again, the first one, since I have already 3 pages, and the third one 3 pages, I only needed to add 5 more pages because like I said, decided to do 8 per signature. And then I needed 8 random pages in the second and last signature. So after I figure out what pages I'm going to put in which signatures, and I've got all my papers folded and ready to go, then I start actually putting it together. Here's where I tried to fold it back the other way, and it cracked even more. And I think this was the first one that I did where I pressed a little too hard, and it started to crack the paper. So yeah, I ended up getting some washi tape and some floral tape, because a lot of what I used in this journal is floral, and then put that on the front and the back of the spine. Well, I guess I did did I do it on the inside? I thought I did on the inside. I think I do. The inside and outside of the spine, just to kind of help reinforce it. So yeah, here I'm fussing with the washi tape to get it so I can cover the inside as well. So put that on the inside. And then I proceed to get all my signatures together and decided, well, I guess just the printed part is going to have to be on the inside. Because I don't want to, try to force these papers in the opposite direction and crack the paper. So yeah, so here I go through then, and I'm putting my signatures together, figuring out, in what order I want these to go. And again, these are the ones I started with, and then I added more to them. And so this is going to be a multi-video thing, because I've been working on it the last 2 weeks, and still will work on it for the next week or two. But I wanted to go ahead and get out these first couple of videos. So if you want to see the next video where I do the edges and the tucks and the pockets, then please subscribe and hit that notification bell to see that, and to see the rest of me making this journal. So I thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.